She was my escort at the party until she whispered, "I'm 21. I hope you don't judge me." The grand ballroom shimmered beneath the afternoon sunlight pouring through towering glass windows, filling the elegant hall with warmth that contrasted sharply with the emptiness I had carried for years. Crystal chandeliers reflected tiny stars across polished marble floors while hundreds of guests laughed, celebrated, and pretended life was perfect. I had attended countless charity galas, business events, and social gatherings, but none of them had ever made me feel less alone. Then I noticed the woman walking beside me, hired to accompany me for the evening because appearing alone was apparently unacceptable in my world. She seemed calm, kind, and almost too genuine for a place built on appearances. Before the speeches began, she quietly admitted something that completely changed the way I saw her. She whispered that she was 21 and hoped I wouldn't judge her for taking this job while working to build a better future. In that instant, I realized the evening was about to become something far more meaningful than another glamorous party. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can change lives and everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Kindness Forever. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world compassion still exists. My name is Rowan Mercer, and success had come at an unbelievable cost. My company was thriving, magazines praised my achievements, and people assumed wealth erased loneliness. The truth was that after losing both of my parents within 2 years, my life had become a carefully organized routine without genuine human connection. Every conversation revolved around contracts, investments, or public image. The invitation to the charity gala had arrived weeks earlier, and my assistant insisted that showing up with a companion would help avoid endless questions about my private life. Reluctantly, I agreed. The young woman beside me introduced herself as Mireya. Unlike everyone else in the ballroom, she never seemed interested in expensive jewelry, famous guests, or luxurious decorations. Instead, she quietly noticed the elderly volunteers arranging donation tables, thanked every waiter who served refreshments, and smiled warmly at the security guards standing unnoticed near the entrances. Her kindness appeared effortless, as though it had become part of who she was. As the afternoon continued, I found myself wondering why someone with such sincerity had chosen this work. During a quiet moment away from the crowd, she shared her story without seeking sympathy. She explained that she had recently graduated from community college with excellent grades and dreamed of becoming a pediatric nurse. Her father had passed away years earlier after a long illness, leaving her mother to raise 3 younger children. Every scholarship, part-time job, and night shift still wasn't enough to cover tuition and household expenses. Escorting clients to formal events paid far better than ordinary temporary jobs, and she had established strict professional boundaries from the beginning. She wasn't ashamed of working honestly to support her family, but she feared people would judge her without understanding her circumstances. Her honesty humbled me. Throughout the afternoon, the gala raised millions for children's hospitals, yet many wealthy guests barely acknowledged the volunteers making the event possible. Mireya quietly stepped away from glamorous conversations several times simply to help carry supplies, comfort an overwhelmed young volunteer, and even entertain children attending with their parents. No cameras followed her. No applause rewarded her actions. She simply believed kindness mattered even when nobody noticed. Watching her reminded me of my mother, who had spent her life helping neighbors without expecting recognition. Somewhere along the way, I had become so consumed by business that I had forgotten the quiet power of compassion. When the charity auction concluded, the event organizer announced that the donations had exceeded every expectation except one. Funding for a new pediatric rehabilitation room still fell short by a significant amount. The room would provide therapy for children recovering from severe accidents and life-threatening illnesses. Guests applauded politely before preparing to leave, assuming someone else would solve the problem. Before I could stand, Mireya leaned toward me and softly said that no child should have to wait because adults hesitated. Her words weren't directed at my bank account but at my conscience. For the first time in years, I made a decision based not on financial calculations but on my heart. I quietly pledged the remaining amount needed to complete the project. The applause that followed felt strangely unimportant compared with the smile on the face of one little girl who hugged her mother after hearing the announcement. Outside the venue, the afternoon sun painted the city in warm golden light. Instead of rushing to another meeting, I asked Mireya about her dreams. She spoke passionately about comforting frightened children in hospitals, holding their hands before surgery, and helping families through the hardest days of their lives. She never once mentioned luxury or wealth. Her greatest wish was simply to make someone else's pain a little easier to bear. The following week, I contacted a scholarship foundation and arranged complete financial support for her nursing education without expecting anything in return. I also established a yearly education fund for students caring for their families while pursuing healthcare careers. Mireya accepted the opportunity with tears in her eyes but insisted she would repay every act of kindness by serving others with the same compassion she had shown that afternoon. Years passed. The rehabilitation center opened successfully, helping thousands of children recover with dignity and hope. During its anniversary celebration, I walked through the brightly lit hallways filled with laughter instead of fear. There, wearing a nurse's uniform and comforting a frightened little boy before his treatment, stood Mireya. She had fulfilled every promise she once whispered about beneath the sparkling chandeliers of that unforgettable gala. She didn't become extraordinary because someone rescued her. She became extraordinary because someone finally believed in her when the world only saw her job title instead of her character. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness can completely change someone's future, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Kindness Forever so together we can spread more stories that inspire compassion around the world. Special request, before you leave, comment with the words "Kindness changes lives" if you believe one act of compassion can transform someone's future forever. As I left the hospital that afternoon, children laughed in the therapy garden under the bright daytime sky, families smiled through grateful tears, and I finally understood a lesson that years of success had never taught me. The greatest investment we can ever make is not in businesses, buildings, or fortunes, it is in people. Money can build hospitals, but kindness fills them with hope. And sometimes, the person who walks into your life for only one afternoon becomes the reason countless others discover a brighter tomorrow.